In today's video, we're going to look at section 8-4, factoring trinomials in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c. So what we're going to do in this lesson is take what we learned from section 8-3 and apply it here. And that's why I taught you that factor method of listing off its factors, because this is going to help in this lesson so much more. So we're going to use the same method with one extra step, and it's a really simple step. So factor each trinomial. So to add into this equation, or excuse me, the polynomial, to factor it, what we want to do is actually we want to multiply those, the first and the last terms. So 7 times 4, and that gives us 28. So we want to look for factors of 28 that will add to that middle number, 29. So just like before, so 7x squared and 4, they stay the same, except the 28 is going to give us a reference point. So now I see it's positive 28, so I know both of them are going to be positive. So I could have 1 times 28, I could have 2 times 14, I could have 4 times 7, and the only one I know that I see is 1 times 28. Okay, so I'm going to split that 29 into 1 and 28. So I'm going to have 1x plus 28x. And then I'm bringing the rest with, plus the 4 at the end, and then 7x squared at the front. All right, and now I'm going to use my grouping method, just like we did before. So in the first one, all I can take out is an x, and I'm left with 7x plus 1. In the second one, I can take out a 4, so I'm take out a 4, and I'm left with 7x plus 1. So just like before, if it can factor, the second one in the parentheses will always be the same. So take what's common, 7x plus 1, take what's left, x plus 4. And there we have a factored trinomial. Okay, so it's the same method, it's just with one extra step. So now, there we go, same thing. 10 times 28, which gives us 280. Now this is a big one, so you might need your calculator. So I grab my calculator, and I'm just going to, start plugging in numbers. And I'm looking for that negative 43. So I have negative 4 times negative 70. Well, those added together do not work. And so I'm just going to try another one. And I find out negative 8 times negative 35. And lo and behold, negative 8 plus negative 35 is negative 43. So I'm going to split that negative 43. And it doesn't matter again which one you split it, so I'm going to go negative 8x plus negative 35x, and bring the rest with, plus 28, and then 10x squared out front. And now let's group. So in the first one, I can take out a 2x, and I'm left with 5x minus 4. And the second one, I can take out, looks like a negative 7, and I'm left with 5x minus 4. Take what's common, 5x minus 4. Take what's left, 2x minus 7. And there we go. Okay, and over time, the middle term is going to be easier and easier to figure out because you're going to learn your multiples and you're just going to see different factors. Okay, so 5x squared plus 13x plus 6. I'm just going to multiply. 5 times 6, that gives me 30, and I want to add up to 13. Well, I can see 10 times 3, really simply. So I'm going to split that 13, 10x first plus 3x, and bring with a 5x squared plus 6. Now we're going to group. Let's do a little orange. So take out a 5x, and I'm left with x plus 2. Take out a 3, I'm left with x plus 2. So take what's common, plus x plus 2. What's left? 5x plus 3. And there we go. Okay, so let's do one more. 6 times negative 8, that gives me negative 48. Now this one's going to be a little bit trickier because one's going to be positive, one's going to be negative. Okay, so we could do let's, we have negative 12 times 4. Well, that doesn't work. Negative 3 times 16. That doesn't work. I see it. Negative 24 times 2. But actually, let's switch that around. 24 times negative 2. That's perfect. So I need a positive 22. So there we go. So I have 24x plus negative 2x. I got minus 8 at the end. That's 6x squared at the front. Okay, so that first part is going to be a little trial and error as you figure it out. And that's okay. It takes time. So I'm going to take out a 6x right away, and I'm left with x plus 4. Take out a negative 2. And I'm left with x plus 4. So we have x plus 4 times 6x minus 2. But in that one, I can see, wait a minute, 6x minus 2, I can take out a 2. So I'm going to bring out a 2 way out front, and I'm left with 3x minus 1, and then I have x plus 4. So you might be able to factor just a little bit more, because if you look at the beginning, we could have taken a 2 out from 6x squared plus 22x minus 8. So we could have simplified it right away and worked with even smaller numbers. And that is always possible too. Okay, so let's factor this one. So I'm going to take 2 times 2, or negative 2. So I get negative 4. Well, I'm looking for factors that add up to negative 5. Okay? So I have negative 4 times 1. That doesn't work. 4 times negative 1. That doesn't work. I would have 2 times negative 2. Well, that doesn't work. So in this situation, if we can't factor, we might have to look at this and say, well, I just can't factor. And that's okay. If a number cannot be factored, that's no big deal. That comes across all the time, and we just have to move on from there. Okay, so we just say cannot be factored. There's nothing wrong with those terms. Those pop up all the time. And if you can't find a multiple that adds up, well, you just move on and say, well, we're done. This is called a prime polynomial. Okay, it cannot be factored. It's okay. All right, so now we're just going to take what we learned, and we're just going to learn to solve. So first, to solve these, we need to get it equal to 0. So I'm going to subtract 4, and then I'm going to also add 3a at the same time. So we end up with 8a squared minus 6a minus 9 equals 0. So we're going to multiply again, just like normal. 8 times negative 9, we get negative 72. And I know that we go 12 times negative 6. Actually, we won't need to add up to negative 6, so I'm going to switch those around. Negative 12 times positive 6. So I have 8a squared minus 12a plus 6a minus 9 is equal to 0. And go right back to what we did in the last couple sections. So I see I can take out a 4a, so I'm going to take out 4a. And I'm left with 2a minus 3. Plus here I can take out a 3, so I'm going to take out 3, and I'm left with 2a minus 3 equals 0. Take what's common, 2a minus 3. What's left? 4a plus 3. And now we're in our solving situation, set both equal to 0. 2a minus 3 equals 0. 4a plus 3 equals 0. So I'm going to solve the first one, add 3 to both sides. So we get 2a equals 3, divided by 2, So I get A is equal to 3 over 2. That's one answer. Then the second one, subtract 3. So I have 4A equals negative 3. Divide by 4. So my second answer, A is equal to negative 3/4. So there is my solution to this equation. Remember, the only ones you can solve are the ones that have an equal sign to start with.